I mean, the first job I ever really got when I left school was Coronation Street, and I was brought in to basically be a himbo. There was not a day went by that I didn't have my shirt off or the stupid, god-awful curtains of a haircut that I had at the time. I've always operated in that slightly more commercial side of TV and film. At the end of the day, it is important what you look like. It's, for me particularly, it was a bit of a kind of a yoke to bear. So when I joined Hollyoaks, the biggest shock for me was that it was the first time I felt old. Because literally every other job I've ever done, I've been playing the Sun or the Lothario or whatever it is. Suddenly I did join this Hollyoaks, which has a really young, not only demographic of viewer, but also cast. I am one of the older people in the cast. That was a shock. Then the fact that, as I said, they shaved my head and it made me realise I was sitting a bit on top. It was a bit of a, kick in the guts. But at the same time, it's an ageing process. The thing that worried me most about losing my hair genuinely was my career. I'm not going to deny, as I say, there was vanity in there as well. I'm probably having a midlife crisis. I'm 40 now nearly. So yes, I wanted, from a personal point of view, to have a full head of hair because I prefer it. The main issue for me, though, was work. I'm not Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis has the best shaped head in the world. So you shave his head and he looks like a god. You shave my head and I look like a conker that's been dropped from the top of a tree too many times. All the bumps in the wrong place. So it was a question of, short of wearing a wig every single, job I did hereafter. And what you've got to remember is, yes, you can wear a wig or a toupee or whatever when you're doing a character. But that's if you're a hugely famous actor like Sean Connery and they know that what you look like. If I'm going into an audition to play, I don't know, a 32-year-old guy, and I'm going in bald on top and going, oh, I can wear a wig, it's all right. But then there's incoming next to me, a guy who looks 32 or something still. Of course, they're just, natural selection. They're just going to give it to the person they think looks more the part. So to me, that was the great thing about being able to restore my hair. Is knowing that I can go in and I've got so many more different roles I can go for. I've been doing this 21 years now. I'm too long in the tooth to do anything else. So yes, I want to be able to keep doing these roles, the variety of roles, not just from a financial point of view, from an enjoyment point of view. I want to be doing, kick-ass films like Black Hawk Down, or I want to be doing dramas like Pride and Prejudice and Downton Abbey. The amount of people you see on TV with no hair is not that much, unless they are playing a specific role of somebody who, you expect to have no hair, like, the 80-year-old innkeeper or something like that. I don't want to be hanging around for those roles. I want to be doing what I've always done, which is the lead roles. I did ring other people as well, because it was an unknown quantity to me. I knew nothing about the entire industry. So I did contact a few other people, and like with Craig, sent some photos. Immediately everybody else says, hey, you need a 25 grand hair transplant, you need a 10 grand hair transplant, you need a 30 grand hair transplant. I was like, oh, fine enough. And then, luckily for me, I found someone who was based down the road from me. So I thought, I'll go and just get that second opinion, see what they think. And to his credit, Craig could have said, yes, you need a 20 grand hair transplant. He didn't. He said, you need to get treatment that's going to cost you the same as a gym membership. My dad has hair on top of his head, but it's not a lot. So I would have always had hair, but it would have thinned and thinned and thinned to a point that, I would have shaved my head anyway because I think it looks slightly better than a comb over. And that would have had a negative effect in that from a career point of view, it would have restricted some of the roles I could do. From a personal point of view, I would have been a bit gutted. I'm not going to deny it. I've always liked having a full head of hair. I've had it all my life. And I think, if I hadn't done something at that point, what probably would have happened is in 5-6 years' time, the follicles which I had at this point, which were healthy and able to be revived, probably would have gone past their sell-by date, and that's when I would have been looking at a hair transplant. Hand on heart, I probably would have had it done anyway. But this was a way of actually a far more cost effective way for me, and also a far more natural way for me, in that, you know, it was a maintenance thing, and as I say, it was me being the best version of myself, and it gives me that little extra boost of confidence. You know, I have no problems now, you know, having my head shaved, or, you know, doing a scene where I've got wet hair or anything like that, because I never want to be, when I'm 80, you know, having facelifts and liposuction and all this kind of stuff. I'm not a massive fan of that side of trying to delay the aging process. But if you can do something which actually means that it's your body being the way it always has been, but just the best version of it possible, then I just kind of think it's a no-brainer. When I say laser, it's not getting zapped. It's just literally you're sitting there underneath essentially a light. That's the first part. That's the most inconvenient part, because that's the bit where you have to leave the safety of your own home. The rest of it is essentially wake up in the morning, have a shower, wash my hair. I have to use a different shampoo to what I used to use. So this time I use a shampoo which is a DHT blocker. Then I use, after I've had my shower and I've dried my hair, I use a conditioner, which you put in your hair. And then you put in a ointment, which is essentially this one here. So that's basically my morning, as well as having a quarter of one of these pills. That's my morning process. Then in the evening, I have to put the solution back in my hair, as well as taking 3 herbal tablets: zinc, milk thistle, and I'm cribbing it, something else. Haven't got my glasses on. So that's it. So literally my hair restoration treatment is laser once a week for 40 minutes. And then apart from that, taking 3 1/4 pills and putting hair solution on my hair twice a day and washing my hair. It's quick, it's easy, it takes no time at all. Within literally a day, it was such a part of my daily process that it doesn't even occur. Even on a Friday night when I'm blotted, I still remember to put in my lotion. It's such a part of my, you know, daily routine now. So it's not difficult, it's not intrusive, and it's easy. The thing is, nobody at Hollyoaks knows I'm having it, because it's not the same as I say, like having a hair transplant, where, you know, you have a very evident bald patch, and then suddenly you come in one day and, you know, you don't. You know, that will be brilliant for people. I imagine for the people who are in that situation where they haven't even a head of hair, they don't care what people think. For me, because I work in TV, it is more of an issue in that, you know, you can't just suddenly go from X to Y with no explanation of an in between. That was one of the main reasons why I was so happy that Craig was able to do the medical with the herbal and the laser treatment, because it wasn't a drastic, you know, change. It was a process of 6 months where every single day was getting better and better and better. So, you know, if I had a before and after shot of myself, yes, there'd be a difference. But if you're watching it on a day-to-day basis, there isn't really something where you suddenly go, oh, what have you had done? For me, I would say having the hair treatment is a really critical part in prolonging the longevity of my career, and especially the longevity of the roles I can do. If somebody wants me to gain 6 stone and, you know, for a role and be a big fat person, I can do that. That's quite a quick and easy fix. You know, maintaining your hair growth is a longer process. So to me, yes, it does. It gives me more variety of roles. It gives me more potential income. And yes, at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that it's all about work. From a personal point of view, yes, it makes me happier having a full head of hair. You know, I've got used to it. I've had it all my life. I don't want that suddenly to go. The moments on set or when I'm watching something I've done back are probably the moments when I do appreciate most having the full head of hair again. Mainly because, like everybody else, you don't see every parameter of your head from every angle, every point in the day. But when I'm seeing myself on TV, on camera, or, you know, on the big screen, being able to see all those different rotations and things like that, all the different lights that hit it. Some scenes I do look like Chewbacca. Some scenes I look like I'm thinning slightly, but that's the same as anybody. You know, that's the same as anybody with a full head of hair. You will sometimes look thinned, like you're thinning. Sometimes you will look absolutely full head of hair. The difference is that 6 months ago, to me personally, when I was watching myself, every single angle of me, I would be looking at it thinking, oh, you're thinning. You are thinning. Yeah, you are. Bugger, you are. Now I don't have that concern. And, you know, it's, as I say, I'm as insecure as the next person, but also from a professional point of view, it's great for me to know that that's what people are now seeing within the industry. They are seeing somebody who has got a full head of hair. They might never say that's why they would give me a job. It's not why they'd give me a job, but it certainly helps. And it gives me more opportunity of more different roles to play. In terms of the confidence it's given me, it has given me a lot more confidence. That's not to say I was a quivering mess before, But certainly before I had it done and began the treatment, I would look at photos of myself or scenes I'd done, and I would be like, oh, you can see my thinning hair, you know, and it would make me a bit, so I would suddenly start thinking, right, well, I'll not do that angle to camera again, or I'll, you know, try and do something else. The fact that I don't have to worry about that anymore. You know, at no point now do I, you know, concern myself when I'm on set or whether I'm at a photo shoot or anything about, you know, what angle I'm showing the camera. It's great for me, and it makes me feel a lot more confident, because if I can see it in that really insane environment of a camera lens, then I know walking down the street with Joe Public, it looks a lot better even than that. I'm so chuffed with the results I've got. I mean, I'm still in the TV show, so they keep shaving my head. And, you know, I'm able to sunbathe now without getting sunburned. No, to be honest, I am really, really pleased with it. And what I really like is it hasn't been, you know, like this big dramatic before and after, because it's a gradual process. It looks completely natural, because it's not an artificial remedy. It's one where basically I came to see MHR and they gave me back the head of hair that I had when I was 18 years old. So it's not something else being put in place. It's a completely natural process of bringing me back to, you know, essentially my prime, I suppose. No, I don't think the long blonde curtains will come back. That, to be honest with you, they were the bugbear of my life for far too long, and I hated them then. But to be honest, the main thing is I actually quite enjoy having my cropped hair now. So it's actually nice to be able to know I can keep my hair cropped, because actually I've grown to really like it.